Hello guys, and welcome to our second lecture on Java programming for beginners. In this tutorial, we're going to be looking at how to set up your development environment so that we can continue from there to write some serious code, do some actual work. Okay, like every programming language, when you want to start programming in Java, there are a set of tools, a set of development tools that you will be needing. In the case of Java, we have two principal tools that we will be needing. The first one being the Java Development Kit, JDK, and the second one, an integrated development environment. It could be any integrated development environment, be it NetBeans, Eclipse, Sublime, whatever you choose to use. It's simply a set of, it's just like a text editor, like your Notepad, but the difference here is that it has been developed, organized to give you more aid, more assistance, and all what you can imagine. So in this tutorial, we will be using NetBeans. Actually, NetBeans, Eclipse are two of the most widely used Java editors today. There's no doubt there are a lot of IDEs that people use. I, for one, I use NetBeans or Eclipse. You could choose to use any one that you're comfortable with. And you can also use any text editor that you want. You don't necessarily need an integrated development environment. The only advantage is that the IDEs actually ease your life. They give you other advantages that a simple text editor like Notepad will not give you. So if you're a Windows user, you can use your simple Notepad, or you could install Notepad++. If you're an Ubuntu user, I'm sure you have gedit already on your computer, so you shouldn't have a problem. Now, before we continue with the installation, we would have to download these tools, and you can get the Java JDK, the Java Development Kit, from the Oracle website, www.oracle.com/technetwork/java/java.se/downloads, and you can get NetBeans from the netbeans.org website /downloads. I just added the Notepad++ website there for those who are interested in installing that as well. Well, it would be a good idea if you're a Windows user to install it, because when we compile our first program, I would actually use a simple text editor. We wouldn't use an IDE, so that we can actually see how the process goes. Now, with that said, we're going to go ahead and download these tools and install. Well, I'm going to show you how to download and install because I already had it downloaded. So let's get to that. If I bring up my Firefox here, I'm on the Oracle website. Let me just go back one step so that you see where I started from. Okay, yeah, I'm on the Oracle website, and when you come to the downloads link, you're going to see this. The best way to get to this is just Google JDK download. I'm sure one of the first things you're going to see is a link to the Oracle website where you can download the latest version of JDK. Well, but for this tutorial, we will actually be installing JDK 1.8 because we'll be working with Java 8. Be very careful. Don't install anything less than the JDK 1.8. If you install anything less than that, you're going to have a problem when we start looking at certain features like lambda expressions that were only introduced as of Java 8. So you don't want to download anything less than JDK 1.8. And for NetBeans, you would want to download any version of NetBeans as from NetBeans 7.4 and above. Anything below that, you might have some issues. So when I get to the Oracle website here on the JDK download page, here you have two options. This one here, download NetBeans with JDK. I'm not going to go for that. I'll go for Java Platform JDK. So I'll click here, and it's going to bring you here to this page, and you can see Java SE development kit, and you have the different flavors for the different operating systems that you can run. So if you're on a Windows 64-bit system, you want to download this last one here, Windows X64. If you're on a Windows 32-bit system, you want to download Windows x86. If you're on a Solaris system, you want to download the one that corresponds to the version of Solaris you're using. Linux, same thing. Mac OS, you want to download this one. I'm sure Mac users, you already have a version of JDK installed on your computer, so you just have to check if it's JDK 8, JDK 1.8. Then if that's the case, you're fine, you're good to go if you have Java 8 already installed. If not, you download the appropriate one for your system and install. Now before you download, you have to accept the license agreement. So I just checked that, and now I can download. So click on your corresponding link. I won't be downloading it because I already have mine installed, but I'm going to show you how to install that. Install and set up your environment. Now when you click on the download link, I'm sure you would have to log in or create an Oracle account. I can't remember exactly, it's been a while since I downloaded that. But if they ask you to log in or create an account, just go ahead, create it, log in, and download the one that corresponds to your system. After downloading it, you save it on your local machine. And well, for Windows users, all you have to do is you just have to double click on the executable file. You extract the file. Well, I don't know if you have to extract, but I'm seeing .exe, which means you're probably downloading the uncompressed version. It's not compressed, it's not zipped, so you just have to click on the .exe file like you install a normal program, and you follow the steps. It's going to install both the JDK and the Java runtime environment for you. We'll be looking at the difference between those two later on. Just follow the on-screen instructions, next, 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 till you get it installed. Now, for Linux users, for Ubuntu precisely, I'm using Ubuntu, so that's what I'm going to show you here. The best way for you to do that is run these commands. Run this one to update the repository, and update your repository so that you can get access. You'll be able to download the Java 8 version. You'll be able to download Java 8. After running that, you want to, let me separate this. You want to update, do an app update, and after that, you run this to install. This is going to install the JDK for you, and you can also run this. After installing the JDK, you would have to test if your environment is working correctly. So after running this command, you could fire up your terminal and type Java -version to see the version of Java you have installed. You can see I have JDK 1.8, which means I am good to go. And just to make sure that the JDK is correctly configured, which means, just to make sure that you actually have it included in your class path, the bin directory of your Java installation included in your class path, type javac. And if you type javac, you should see a bunch of statements printed out on your console. If you have these, then you're good to go. But if you just, after running this command highlighted here, if you just had this, let me clear this. If you just have this working fine, and after typing javac you don't have all of this, try running this. This should automatically set up your Java environmental variables for you. And when you do that, run this again till you have all of these happening. When you run Java C, you should have a bunch of statements printed like this. If you have it printed like this, then you are good to go. Now, if none of these options work for you, I'll suggest you go online and Google. You have just type how to install JDK on whatever version of Ubuntu you're using or whatever version of your system you're using, and that will be fine. Now, for Windows users, after installing, you would have to manually set up your environment. So the first thing to do, I actually have that since I'm running on Linux. I have the instruction I have the instructions on my slide here, so I'm going to show you what to do. If you're a Windows user, after installing the JDK, after you follow all the on-screen instructions to successful installation, just type this command to see the version of Java you have on your system. Java -version, same like we did on the Ubuntu system. What you have here, Java -version, it should print out these. If you have anything like Java 1.7, then you don't have the right version, so go back and download the right version and install. If you don't do that, if you go with the lower version, you can go on from here, but like I said earlier, when we get to some concepts of Java 8, you will not be able to execute them because those libraries will not be on your system. Now, after installing, you want to go to your start menu, click start menu. When it opens up, go to my computer, your computer here, right here, computer, you right click computer and select properties. When you do this, it's going to open up this window, and once this pops up, come right here to the left of the screen and click on Advanced System Settings. When you do that, it will open up this dialog box. Yeah, this one. And when this dialog box is open, come down here to the bottom right here, you're going to see environmental variables. You click on that and it's going to open this other screen that you see here titled environmental variables. And once that opens, click on new. Or you want to verify to make sure you don't have your Java home variable set already. If you don't have that, you click on new, and it's going to open up this other dialog box, edit system variable, and you type Java home. Look at the way I've typed it, Java capital _ home capital. Now, most applications that you will install might be looking for this, that use Java would look for something like this to run your Java program, to run correctly if they depend on Java. So you want to set that correctly, Java home. Now, after setting that to Java home, you will go to your computer where you installed Java. In my case, my Java, the computer on which I took the screenshots, Java is installed in C/program files/java/jdk. So just navigate to your own directory and you copy that. Look at the contents where you have bin, db, all of those. Navigate right to that point. Don't get into the bin directory. Once you get here, this is your Java home. Copy it and paste it where you have the value for the environmental variable down here. So you have new variable, the variable is Java home, variable value, I paste it inside there, and you click OK. Now, after doing that, you have your Java home set correctly. Now you need to add the path to your bin directory. You need to add the location of your bin directory to your system path. Now, this is to enable us run our Java commands from anywhere in our computer. When we compile a program, you're actually going to see the benefits of doing that. So I'll make sure to mention it again when we get there. So After clicking OK here, but you come back to this window where you had the Java home variable. Your Java home variable now should have been created here. You could just click inside here, you could click inside here and you press J to see if you would see a Java home variable set. Now if that is set, you want to come here and click on path. Select path and click edit, or you just double click on path and it will open this edit system variable dialog box. Same thing like the one you had with your Java home when you were setting up your Java home variable. And inside here, all you need to do is add the path to your bin directory. Now when you were setting Java home, I started from c./program files, well, c:/program files java/jdk 1.8.0_60, and I ended there. That's my Java home. But now when you want to add Java to your path, make sure you're adding the bin directory. So you put your Java home /bin directory. So I have c:/program files /java/jdk 1.8.0_60/bin. This is because the Java command that you'll be using to run your programs and the javac command that you'll be using to run your programs are found inside here, and we're going to see how to use them later on. Now look at the way I added my path. When you open path, you already have some variables, you already have some values there. All you need to do is at the end of the value that is already there, add a semicolon, and then you paste in, you append your path, your Java bin directory path to it. Don't delete what is already there. If you delete, you might have problems with other applications on your system. Just append. You append by putting a semicolon after what is already there, and you add your own path to it. After doing all of that, click OK here, click OK, just click OK on all the screens, and you should be fine. And after that is done, open your command prompt window and type javac like we did before on the Linux system, and you should have a bunch of commands printed out on the console like this, a bunch of messages like this. If you don't have these, it means you probably did not set your path correctly. So just go back, check again if you missed out on something, and if the images are not so clear, I'll suggest you just Google online as well, and you have a lot, videos, web pages demonstrating that. It's pretty straightforward. Now with that said, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to install NetBeans. We have JDK, so we're going to install NetBeans, and then we're going to test it to see if we are good to go. So what am I going to do? I'm going to come up to the NetBeans website. Let me just open mine because we're going to need it later on, and it takes some time to load. So I'm just going to leave it there for now while it's loading. We're going to go to the NetBeans website. This is the NetBeans website. Every time you come to netbeans.org/download, it's going to show you the latest version of NetBeans. If you don't want to download the latest version of NetBeans, you can always change the version. We'll come to that later on. But to download NetBeans, you can come here like here. The latest version at this time is 8.2. So to download it, yeah, platform. Look at what's written here. First of all, if you speak Chinese, you can download the Chinese version. If you speak some other language, you can download one that corresponds to you. In my case, I speak English, so I download the one that corresponds to me. And depending on the platform you're running on, you want to select that. So I'm running on Linux. I'm going to be selecting the version for Linux. If you're running on Windows, you're going to select the version. If you notice, every time you select something, it changes to tell you that you'll be downloading something else. Now, if that is done, you see here you have the different features that you would have with your NetBeans download. So if you download this one, you're just going to have the NetBeans platform. It comes with the JDK, well, the NetBeans platform SDK, software development kit, and you have Java SE and you have Java FX. If you download this one, it's going to give you Java EE and so on. Whatever, you choose the one that you think you're comfortable with. For one, I usually go with this one. This is the one I actually have installed on my system. And I only did that because I find myself, sometimes I'm working on a Java project. Tomorrow I'll be working on a PHP project. Sometimes I'm working on a Java EE project. Sometimes on a C++ project and so on. And I'm more comfortable using the same editor all the time instead of having to add the different components over time. It's no doubt it's going to take up a little more space, but I mean, space should not be a problem these days. So just download the one that is suitable for you. Choose any one. Like I said, I go for this one, but this is actually what we need for this tutorial. Now, with that said, you just have to download. When you click on download, it should give you an option to save. Okay, when you click on download, it brings you here. It says your download should start automatically. So I'm waiting for it to start. And now it's asking me to save a .sh file. I won't save because I already have my own copy of NetBeans downloaded and installed. So just go ahead and download it. My connection is a little slow today. Okay, we're fine. Now, if you don't want to download NetBeans, 8.2 or whatever the latest version is at the time you're watching this video, you can go to the archive and you can choose any other version. Maybe you know of a version that's more stable and you prefer going with that one. So yeah, you can select if you want 7.4, but remember I said for this tutorial don't use anything less than 7.4. So you could select any one that you're comfortable with there, and you go ahead and continue. Okay, so just download your copy of NetBeans, and now I'm going to show you how to install. Well, for Windows users, you don't have any big trouble. Like, it's just always click, 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 click. Ubuntu users, it's pretty straightforward as well. You've been installing programs on your Ubuntu system. So I'm just going to navigate to where I actually have my NetBeans. I have it inside here, home. Where did I keep that thing? Okay, I don't know. Let me check here. A CD soft ls. Okay, this is where I have my NetBeans downloaded. NetBeans 8.0/Linux _2.sh. So to run this file, to launch the installer, I just need to type ./netbeans, yeah, and I hit enter, and it's going to launch the installer for me. Let's wait. Okay, my installer is up, and all you need to do is just go with the default. Use next, next, next. You could customize whatever, choose the version, the kind of server you want installed. We won't be needing any of these right now, but like I said, if you want to install it, go ahead. So I'm going to cancel because I'm not installing. If you're a Windows user, to get this, just double click on the downloaded file and you should have this. Follow the on-screen instructions till you have it installed. Once you have it installed, I'm going to close. I don't need it. Once you have it installed, you can open up NetBeans, and what you want to do is create a project. I'm going to open this wide. Okay, so I'm going to create a new project to show you how it's done, and then we're going to write something inside to make sure it executes correctly. So I'm going to come here, file, I'm going to click file and take new project, or you could use this new project, and it's going to open this dialog box, and here you want to select Java and Java application. That's what we're going to be creating, and then you click next, and you want to enter the name of your application, your project. So I'm going to call it Java Tutorials. That's the name of my project. And you want to select, I'm going to use my default workspace as my project location, and I click finish. Make sure you check that so that it creates the main class for you automatically. We'll talk about what that is. Now, after it does that, you should have these running. You should sorry, not running. You should have this opened like this. And I'm just going to come inside here and I'm going to type something, system.out.println. This is my first Java program. I'm going to save it. Now, if you created your project and you did not see a menu, if you did not see this class created by default, if you did not see this structure created by default, you probably just want to check again. I'm just going to do as if I want to create another new project, but I won't actually create the project. When you get to this, from here, select Java application, and next. And when you get to this point, make sure you have create main class so that it creates it for you. If not, you have to create it manually. So just make sure you create it automatically, since we are not creating any extra classes for now. With that done, I'm going to, like I said, I type system.out.println, and I pass in a string. And once that is done, to run my program, I'm just going to click on this green button here that says run project. And when I click on it, it's going to compile and then run my program. And the run is successful. And I see here, this is my first Java program. So if you have done all of that and you have succeeded in doing this, I want to congratulate you on your first Java program. And I want to tell you to keep up the spirit. So let's get down to some real work in the next tutorials. Well, before getting down to some details, I'm going to show you, or doing some real work in the next tutorials, in the next few tutorials, I'll be showing you how to write a basic Java program, and later on showing you and giving you an overview of what we'll be covering throughout these tutorials before we actually get to writing some complex stuff.